This is Chapter 12, The First Strike, from a story called The Immortals Society, written by Anonymous. The forest was alive with whispers. Wind rustled the trees, and the faint gurgle of the lake sounded like distant drums. Jack, Charlie, and Elias moved silently, shadows among shadows, careful not to leave a trace. For the first time in years, Jack felt the tension of action replacing the tension of fear. They were no longer only running. Now they were striking. "This is it," Elias said, crouched behind a fallen log. "The first move. If we succeed, we send a message. Mortals are not powerless. If we fail," his voice trailed off, but Jack knew what he meant. Charlie reached for his hand. "Then we succeed. Together." Jack squeezed her fingers. Together. The target was a small, abandoned society safe house in the mountains, chosen because of its importance in the network of surveillance. Elias explained that the building contained supplies, encoded documents, and a hidden communication hub, all vital to understanding how the society tracked mortals like them. Jack and Charlie followed Elias through a maze of overgrown paths, their boots crunching softly on the underbrush. The moon was thin and pale, offering just enough light to move without being seen. Elias whispered, "The guard rotates every 15 minutes. Timing is everything. Stick to the shadows." Jack nodded, his pulse quickening. He remembered years of training inside the society, stealth, observation, reading the tiniest cues. Now he was using that knowledge against them. The building loomed ahead, dilapidated but still formidable. Jack could see the faint glow of a security monitor through the cracked window. He motioned to Charlie to stay low. Together they slipped inside, moving like ghosts. The inside smelled of dust, cold metal, and old wood. Elias pointed to a stairwell leading to the communications room. "This is it," he whispered. "We access what we need, leave no trace, and get out." Jack and Charlie moved quickly, scanning for traps. Charlie worked alongside Elias to disable sensors and cameras, while Jack located a hidden safe, uncovering encrypted documents that revealed the Society's surveillance network and safe house locations worldwide. "This is more than I imagined," Jack said, scanning the files. "We could map the entire reach if we wanted to." Elias nodded. "Exactly. And tonight, we're taking the first step. Knowledge is power." Just as they were about to leave, a faint creak echoed from the hallway. A shadow appeared, an agent returning from his patrol. Jack froze, his heart hammering. The agent's eyes scanned the room, lingering for a moment too long. Charlie whispered, "Move." Jack grabbed her hand, pulling her behind a stack of crates. They held their breath as the agent walked past, oblivious to their presence. Once he disappeared, Jack exhaled slowly. Too close. Elias frowned. "We'll need better exit strategies next time. The Society is always watching." Jack nodded. Lesson learned. By dawn, they were back at the lake, exhausted but victorious. Elias had copied the files, revealing a series of weak points in the Society's networks. They could now move more freely, anticipate patrols, and even warn other mortals in the hidden network. Charlie looked at Jack, eyes shining. "We did it. We actually did it." Jack smiled tiredly. "Yes, and this is just the beginning. We've shown them we're not powerless, and soon we'll show them we're not afraid." Elias placed a hand on Jack's shoulders. "Remember this moment. The first strike is always the most dangerous, but it's also the spark, and sparks can become fire." Jack stared at the lake, the morning mist rising like smoke. He could feel it, the fire inside them, the determination that no immortal, no society could extinguish. Charlie leaned against him, whispering, "Whatever comes next, we'll face it together." Jack kissed the top of her head. "Together, always." For the next few days, they rested, observing the surrounding forest, planning their next move. Every day, Jack and Charlie grew more confident in their abilities, more reliant on each other, and more certain that life, mortal, fleeting, fragile, was worth fighting for. But the files they had stolen revealed another truth. The Society knew more about Jack's choice than he realized. Their attention was no longer casual. It was focused, deliberate, and relentless. Jack stared at the horizon, the lake shimmering in the sunset. "They'll come for us," he said quietly. Charlie took his hand. "Then let them. We'll be ready." Jack nodded, heart pounding. The first strike had been successful, but the battle was only beginning. and for the first time in his life, he felt that mortal life, fragile, uncertain, and entirely his own, worth every risk. Above the lake, the wind whispered through the trees. It carried a promise. The hunt was on, and Jack and Charlie would meet it head-on. That was Chapter 12, The First Strike, from a story called The Immortals Society, written by Anonymous. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you again next time.